Welcome to Unit 3, Exercise 6-2, Portion Cost. This is where we calculate how much a portion, what we sell to our customer, costs out of the total recipe cost. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Here is a recipe, and if we look at our instructions, we are to calculate the cost per portion, and we're to round our final answer to 3 decimal places. So this recipe here makes an angel cake. It will yield 6 pans. Each pan is 4 inches by 9.5 inches, and this will give us 60 portions, or as you can see, 6 or 10 portions per pan. None of this is important for what we're doing here except the number of portions this recipe gives us. This is what we need to calculate our portion cost. So let me show you a bit of what's going on. Our first ingredient is egg whites. The recipe calls for 4 pounds of egg whites. We have paid decimal $426 per pound. So essentially we want to extend the price, or in actuality, we want to know what 4 pounds of egg whites is going to cost us. So what we do is we take the price per pound and we multiply it by the 4 pounds we're looking for to give us this cost for egg whites. In other words, it's going to cost us $1.704 to get 4 pounds of egg whites. That will allow us to make 60 portions of angel cake. Let's look at our sugar. We need 3 3/4 pounds of sugar. It costs 52 cents a pound. Let's take the cost of 52 cents, multiply it by 3.75, the decimal equivalent of 3 3/4 pounds, and we see that our sugar will cost $1.95 to make 60 portions. Cream of tartar, we need 1 ounce. The cost is 29 cents per ounce. It doesn't get easier than this. 29 cents times 1, it's going to cost us 29 cents for cream of tartar. Salt, we need 1/2 ounce. It costs us this much per ounce. So let's take the cost per ounce and multiply it by decimal 5, the decimal equivalent of 1/2. Or we could have also taken decimal 0.018 and divided it by 2. Either way, this is the cost for the salt. Vanilla and 2 ounces, 46 cents per ounce. 46 times 2, 92 cents for 2 ounces of vanilla. Almond flavoring, another one at 1/2 ounce. There's our cost, 39 cents per ounce. So we have 39 cents times decimal 5. There's what it's going to cost us for vanilla flavoring. And then we need cake flour, 1.5 pounds at 24 cents a pound. 24 cents per pound times the 1.5 pounds that we need. We're going to use 36 cents per pound to make a angel cake that will give us 60 portions. Now we want the total cost, or as is often referred to, the recipe cost. What will it cost us to make this entire recipe? We add all of our extended prices. We add the total cost of each ingredient so that we get the sum of it right here, and essentially there's what we're getting. $5.428 is what it's going to cost us for these ingredients to give us 60 portions of angel cake. Keeping in mind that we're getting 60 portions, that's what we now want to calculate the cost per portion. Well, if this much gives us 60 portions, let's unit cost this. Let's take this cost divided by the 60 units it gives us and find out what 1 portion is going to cost. So there's our recipe cost, or total cost, divided by the 60 portions this recipe gives us, and when we round that off to the nearest cent or to 3 decimal places, we realize it's going to cost us 9 cents for each of the 60 portions this recipe gives us. Let's take a look at another example. This time we have a recipe that is going to make Hungarian goulash. We want 100 portions of Hungarian goulash. Actually, 100 portions is what we get from the recipe. Here is the size of the portion, 8 ounces. This is an important bit of information, just not for what we're doing here. When we're costing things out, we don't care about the size of the portion. We just want to know that this recipe is going to make 100 portions. So again, let's start with the bone chuck. We need 35 pounds. We paid $2.49 a pound. 249 times 35, $87.15 of bone chuck. Oil, we need 1 pint. It costs us 64 cents, or 64 cents a pint. No brainer, still going to be 64. Onions at 10 pounds, 39 cents a pound. There's the price, $3.90. Garlic, we need 4 ounces. It costs 19 cents per pound. We got to do a little conversion here. 19 divided by 16, because there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. This gives us the cost of 1 ounce. We'll multiply it by the 4 ounces we're looking for. There's the cost of our garlic. Paprika, we want 12 ounces. Again, we paid for it by the pound, 50 cents per pound. So let's take the price per pound, divide it by 16 ounces, the amount of ounces in a pound, and multiply it by the 12 ounces we're looking for. There's the cost of the garlic. We need 1.5 pounds of flour. We paid 26 cents per pound, so 26 times 1.5, it's going to cost us 39 cents for the flour. We want 4 ounces of salt. We paid 1.5 pennies per ounce. We're going to take the 1.5 pennies and multiply it by the 4 ounces we need. There you go. It's going to cost us 6 cents for our salt. Tomato puree, we need 2 number 10 cans, and they cost 88 cents per can. So there's the cost per can. Multiplied by the amount of cans we need, it's going to be $1.76 for the tomato puree. Now we have the wine stock. We need 1 gallon, and we're told there's no charge. And the only reason there's no charge is because we've already factored in the cost of our wine stock when we made the wine stock recipe. So while we were doing the wine stock recipe, we already did this for all of the ingredients in the wine stock. Now it's available to anybody who needs it. So it's no charge in this recipe, but we don't get free wine stock. It's just been made somewhere else. So the wine stock is no cost here. We now want the total cost, or the recipe cost. We'll add up all of our ingredients in the extended price column. We see that it's going to cost us $94.323 to make 100 portions of Hungarian goulash. Let's figure out what it's going to cost us per portion. There's the total recipe cost. Let's divide it by the 100 portions that we get with that and round it off to 3 decimal places. It's going to cost us $943 to make 100 portions of Hungarian goulash. One last quick example. We're going to look at the cost per portion for a recipe that gives us 30 portions of brownies. We need 400 grams of walnuts at $9.43 per kilogram. So 943 divided by 1,000 to get the cost of 1 kilogram, multiplied by the 400 grams we're looking for. There is the extended price for the walnuts. Here's our dark chocolate, $8.70 per kilogram, divided by 1,000 to get the cost of 1 gram, multiplied by 680, the amount of grams that we need for the recipe. There's the extended price for the dark chocolate. Butter is an easy one, $2.69 a pound. We only need 1 pound, therefore the extended price is $2.69. The sugar, 750 grams at $1.70 per kilogram. I think you probably see what's happening here. $1.70 divided by 1,000 gives us the cost of 1 gram. Multiply that by the 750 grams we're looking for. There's the extended price for the sugar. Eggs, we want 8 eggs. We paid $1.49 a dozen. So $1.49 divided by 12 is the cost of 1 egg, multiplied by the 8 eggs that we need. There's our extended cost for the eggs. Here's our vanilla. We want 5 milliliters. We paid $5.69 for a liter. So we're going to take $5.69 divided by 1,000, the amount of milliliters in a liter. Take the 1 milliliter price, multiply it by the 5 milliliters our recipe is looking for. There's our extended price for the vanilla. Baking powder, 2 grams. We paid $3.20 per kilogram. 320 divided by 1,000 times the 2 grams that we're looking for. There is the extended price for the baking powder. And finally, for our flour, we need 450 grams. We paid 65 cents per kilogram. 65 cents divided by 1,000 will give us the cost of 1 gram. Let's multiply it by the 450 grams we're looking for. There's the extended price rounded to 3 decimals for the bread flour. What about the total cost? Simple procedure. We add up all of our extended prices for all of our ingredients, and we see that the total cost, or our recipe cost, is $14.973. This is how much it's going to cost to make 30 portions of these brownies. What's the cost per portion? Again, we're going to unit cost. We'll take the cost of the entire recipe. We'll divide it by how many units it gives us, 30 portions. We get the unrounded answer. When we round it off, we get decimal $499, or just shy of 50 cents. So 50 cents is the cost per portion for this recipe that makes 30 portions of brownies. Portion costing. Add up the total ingredient costs for the recipe, divide the recipe cost by the amount of portions that recipe gives you.